I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, The Moats Theory of Life. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, I strongly encourage you to. This book not only is a fun read, but it's a guide to helping you become a person of impact and inspiration. If you are ready to take the next step to improving not only your life, but those around you as well, go get a copy of The Moats Theory of Life, and it's available at moatstheory.com. What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, dude?
Shout out to the shirt, bro.
Man. Yeah, you like that?
You thought I was, man, that's fire. I like it, man. Let the people see it. That's top notch, bro.
Don't cross the moats.
That's clean, man. Anybody that was at the tailgates last year, they saw we had some drops, man.
I was going to say, this is an OG shirt from last year.
Absolutely, man.
So,
it's clean.
Yeah, I decided to wear it. I was actually thinking about this game, not to get too ahead of ourselves here, but I was like, you know what, this game kind of reminds me of the Tampa Bay Bucks game back from 2014. You remember that?
I do. That was my first start. I remember that, man.
Below average quarterback in there. It feels like we should be winning the game the whole time. A couple mistakes here and there, but we end up blowing it at the end. And like the main difference between the games, defense. And as I'm watching this game, I'm seeing you in there, dude.
Here we go.
I'm seeing some of the highlights. Dude, you're getting held. I couldn't believe the refs were calling some of that shit, man.
It happens.
You were getting by your guy. You look pretty good out there,
I appreciate you, man. Taking a walk down memory lane 2014. Sheesh.
So I think that kind of triggered,
the nostalgia on you,
I saw the shirt. It was clean. I'm like, you know what? I got to break this out, man.
I like, well, shout out to the nostalgia on your end. I went nostalgia on my end. I got my high school right here, man. Churchland Truckers, my pop sent me my high school hoodie. I'm like, dang, all right. So we all nostalgic up in here. I'm digging it, baby. I'm digging it. But what does give us even more nostalgia is seeing the 2-0. Seeing that, man, seeing two back-to-back performances, man, where very different in terms of week 1 to week 2 Steelers as a whole, but similar results in terms of finding ways to win, finding ways to stack good, just win on top of win on top of win. To me, man, I'm super encouraged right now, man. I'm excited about it.
Here's the interesting thing. We didn't text each other about this game at all. So I had no clue. I had no clue what your take was going to be. So you why? Saying encouraged, I'm like, all right, I feel the same way.
Funny thing. You said I text you about it. I mean, I barely was able to text this weekend, man. I wasn't in the best state, you know what I'm saying? I was enjoying my weekend probably a little too much.
Dude, what's going on here? Like,
hey, man, I'm living my best life right now.
Yeah, like whenever I met you last year, and just all the way even up to this point, even the summer, I'd say, like, I've always thought you to be like this buttoned-up person, like locked in, focused. But man, you're losing it these past couple weekends.
I've been not losing. I've been enjoying myself these last 2 weekends, man. Shout out to the virtual element of everything. But no, man, wifey, we were joking Sunday. She was like, dang, you really been meaning what you're saying about taking the weekend off and just kind of letting your hair down. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Yeah. I'm functioning enough that, I can have conversations. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself to the fullest, man. I'm really embracing the fandom because last year, as that being like my first year away, I didn't really get a chance to embrace just enjoying the game at home. We got to do it like going to the actual stadium. And it's a different vibe. We said that like, buying, your drinks when you're at the stadium is totally different. Like, even though you want to drink more, probably you're like, man, the walk, the I'm gonna miss something. It's not as convenient as when you're at the house. At the house, though, I'm like, this is I like this. I don't have to worry about driving home. I don't have to worry about getting mugged in the bathroom. Like,
you got games coming up too. Yeah. You got the 4 o'clock. You got the 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So literally, man, it starts out. As soon as I'm done Friday afternoon, I start getting the engine oiled up. I don't want any, a great performance starts with the warm. You got to warm up right. So I start warming up on Friday night.
Man.
Then come Saturday morning, I wake up, I do my little workout I say I got to cleanse myself before I destroy myself.
Yeah.
So I cleanse myself in the morning with a nice workout. Then from there.
What was Saturday? College football for you?
College, NASCAR. My man Harvick had another dub.
I saw that, yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you. So I had college football, I had NASCAR with Harvick, I had NBA going on as well. So literally Saturday and Sunday, that was my vibe, man. I enjoyed it though. But literally once I'm doing my workout Saturday morning, oh yeah, everybody knows Daddy's downstairs on the couch, big TV. The only time you need to come around him is if you're bringing him something to, elevate his current status.
Wow.
And it's awesome. I love it.
What game did you watch on Saturday? You watch my squad pit, man. Come on, dude.
No, seriously. I actually did. I had a massage this Saturday, and literally we were watching it. I went to see Kenny Pickett, man, because
He looks good.
I've been seeing you talk about him. I saw where Mel Kiper said he's like the 9th rated quarterback. So I was like, you know what, let me just check them out. And at the time, because Pitt was at home, I was like, I really wanted to see like what Heinz Field looks like with no fans there, like that whole vibe. But it was a good game, man. I thought, man, Kenny played well, and I'm really impressed by the defense, dude. The D line is filthy. I was like, whoo, I like it. I like it a lot, man. So that was the game that I watched Saturday morning. Then obviously as the day went through, the NASCAR race was that like mid-afternoon time frame, and then I forgot. I think I was watching the Heat Celtics. I think that was the game I watched Saturday night for basketball, and then obviously yesterday, I was in heaven yesterday.
Dude, the football has been great these first 2 weeks. I mean, we were talking about concerns we might have early on with us not having, just the whole NFL not having training camp, preseason, all this type of stuff. I think the football has been amazing. You're having some like really good games. It's either, let me put it this way, it's either you have teams having really good performances, like the really good teams, or you're having really good games.
Yes.
The teams that are really good having good performances, those games are somewhat of a blowout. Right. Like the Ravens game yesterday, some other teams have been kind of manhandling other teams. But outside of that, I just think the football has been great.
Yeah, it's been good. I think the thing is when we're talking about the lack of preseason, where it shows is in the execution element. If we talk to, we'll get into this a little bit more, but with the offense, for example, right, in Pittsburgh, we know how dynamic they are and what they could be doing, but right now they still have parts where they just look out of sync. It's things like that preseason helps. We talk about the drops that we've seen from some of the receivers and some of the running backs. That is a part of the preseason, just the routine stuff, getting your foot up under you, understanding your fundamentals, going through the routine, making the routine. And I mean, we talk about this in basketball, right? Hitting the layup, it's a bunny, it's wide open. Do the fundamental things right. That type of stuff is what you're lacking in the preseason. Some of the miscommunications in the secondary on our defense right now, that part is a part of the lack of preseason. And then, I mean, just the decision making. We'll get into this with Ben and some of the throws that he had. That is all a part of the preseason. Usually you get those kinks out and now you're up to speed. But right now, and everybody's dealing with this, it's not just a Pittsburgh thing. You can go game by game, team by team. Everybody's having these same issues. But that's the biggest element of the lack of preseason. But as a whole, you're hitting it on the head, man. As a whole, I think just the overall brand, and from an optic standpoint, it looks good.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the difference, though. The teams that are able to start clicking faster, the teams that are able to clean up some of those little nuanced things, those are going to be the teams that are really able to go on those 7, 8, 10 game runs of just wins in a row. When they start doing that, man, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think the Steelers, man, they're right in line with that. They're right on pace. When you talk about the top tier teams in the league, I feel like they're definitely in that conversation. Yeah. And the reason and I guess we'll just dive right into why I was impressed with the Steelers, man, is because in the past, especially last year.
Yeah, we've been talking all around it.
We have, right? In the past, or in particular last year, they weren't winning these ugly games. They weren't finding ways to win these when offense wasn't playing well or defense wasn't playing well. You didn't see the other unit pick up the slack. Whereas this year, we've seen 2 games now in instances where both sides of the ball have had lapses, but the other side has been able to pick them up. And I thought yesterday was a prime example of that. I thought that, man, watching the offense, at times they looked explosive, at times they looked kind of stagnant. And then on defense, at times the defense looked dominant, and then at times the defense was getting gashed. But I felt like they all operated in concert. So if the offense was slacking, the defense picked it up. If the defense was slacking, the offense picked it up. If both sides were slacking, special teams picked it up. To me, that's the mark of a good team. That's the mark of championship football. I think of the year we went to the AFC Championship game in 2017. There were, in 2016. There were plenty of games that were ugly. There were plenty of games where if it was a backup quarterback, it looked like, man, they're in control, but it's still, you don't feel like they have it locked away, but we would find ways to win it. However it would work, we would find ways to get it done. That's what it looked like yesterday. Regardless of what was going on, it was like they're finding a way. They're good. Somebody's making a play every time. Even when a play goes against them or a call goes against them, they're finding ways to win. And for me, that's encouraging because I know you're not going to bank on Deontay Johnson continuing to have some mishaps with the ball, whether it's looking the ball in on passing plays or fumbling a jet sweep. You're not banking on that.
No.
You're not banking on Big Ben continuing to, okay, it's 6 seconds into the snap, instead of just throwing it away or taking a sack or running it, throwing it across to Juju. That's not going to happen consistently. You know what I mean? Like, or the Deontay Johnson punt return that got called back. When you look at the block in the back, it's a 50-50 call at best.
Dude, I didn't even see it because the announcer whenever I was rewatching it, I don't remember seeing it during the game, but as the refs announcing it, I think he said Cam Sutton, and I was looking at the replay. I didn't see anything, man. It looked like the dude flopped.
Well, this is the thing. When you're in that position, it's a technique that they teach, and Danny Smith teaches us all the time. Number one, it's called like scraping paint, right? So if that guy's in position like that, I'm not running up putting my front of my jersey on the back of his jersey, because even if you don't touch him, the guy diving forward, whether he fell, tripped, or you bumped him, from an optic standpoint, the referee just sees the front of you and him falling forward. They're going to call that. It's no different. We talk about the NBA. You see James Harden. We're like, man, is that really a foul? It's like, dude, from the referee's vantage point, it looks like a foul. He's going to call it every time. That's why you teach a different technique with that. Or they say, okay, if you feel like your guy is beat, if your guy is within 3 yards of the ball on punt return, they tell you to put a foot in the ground, go find somebody else, because you're banking on your guy, your returner being good enough that one guy's not going to tackle him. And those are some of the things that if you're Danny, so that's what he's telling Cam Sutton right now. Cam, did you hit him in the back? It doesn't matter. It looks bad. You put your hands up. That's another thing. We always say, never put your hands up, because it makes you look guilty. The referee is going to look and say, well, he has his hands up. That guy's on the ground. Throw the flag. And it's that simple. So it's multiple things that could have been avoided in that. But either way, I still like that response to that. What did the offense do? The next play, the exact next play, bomb the Claypool. Yeah. So it's like everybody was working together at some point or fashion. And that's just the mark of quality football teams, of winning football teams. You're never going to be perfect. This just is what it is. And especially early in the year with no preseason. But how you respond to that adversity, that's why, for me, I was like, I'm super encouraged.
Another point you could bring up is the Benny Snell fumble. You're hoping, at least from the running backs, you're not getting that fumble consistently too at that time, because we were up 12. I know Ben had the pick, I think, coming right out of halftime. Yeah. They ended up kicking the field goal. We had a drive. It ended up going to 4th down. We didn't get it because he tossed it to Ebron.
Yeah.
I think the ref should have threw a flag there if they're calling some of that stuff on us. Keep it equal. I think they ended up scoring after that. And that's when we had the Deontay. We were up 12. It was like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that fumble. Like, I felt at that point, we did enough to win. Like, we've controlled this game all the way up to this point. That fumble was just really what killed us and got them kind of back in the game. So it goes back to what you're saying. I'm not counting on that happening every game. I definitely feel like we were in control, and like you said, there were lapses here and there, but as a total team effort, dude, I was really impressed. Like, as much as it was a really frustrating game, especially in that fourth quarter in the second half at times, to come away from that with a win, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really encouraged. Like you said, I didn't know what you were gonna say. If you were gonna say I'm discouraged about this, there was too many lapses, whatever. But I feel really good. I feel good going forward, that if we could come out of this instance with a win, how we played up and down, then man, because we're probably operating at like 60-70% of what we could be at. Say,
like, when we really get into the positives versus the negatives of the performance, we're going to see the positives are a lot bigger and they're a lot more positive than there are negatives. And the negatives, it's small details. It's nothing major. Last year we had major problems, and it's certain things that
where you're like, I don't know if we can fix this.
Right. This thing, if it's a personnel issue, you can't fix that.
Right.
If it's a detailing of your work issue, a fundamental or a technique thing, oh man, I will take technique issues over personnel issues any day of the week. And any coach will tell you that. If you don't have the players, it doesn't matter how fundamentally sound this guy is. He's just not good enough. When you have the players, though, man, listen, we're going to coach this technique. You're going to get the technique right. And then from there, everything else takes care of itself. But initially, man, some of the things that I took away from the game that I thought were positive. Number one, once again, Ben, I thought he looked good moving throughout the pocket. I thought for the majority of the day, he was clean. In terms of his throws, he had a couple of bad throws. Obviously, the interception, that was probably the worst one, but he had a dropped interception by 23 in the end zone in the first half.
I don't know what's been going on, because there was a couple of them, like they were just ducks. I don't know if that's just lack of preseason, I don't know.
I think all of that kind of plays into it together, honestly. You're going to have some rest when you have a year away from the game, when you come back from a surgery. You're going to have some of that when you're playing on the fly. You're playing through the rust on the fly. You don't get the preseason games. We talked about in a normal offseason, Ben probably would have played a lot more in the preseason this year to knock all of that off. So I think that that's just a microcosm of that. But for the majority of the time, though, I thought that his touch looked great. I thought his arm strength looked great. I just thought that it was probably 2 to 3 throws where it was, you really don't need to force that. You really don't need to have to make that throw. It worked out on one, didn't work out on the other two. That's kind of how I thought of it.
I honestly think it was the 2 picks, and then there was one he tried to force in. I think it was to Snell or Connor.
No, Connor makes the catch.
No. There was one where it like ricocheted, and then Deontay. It was Deontay or Juju caught it.
Yeah, I remember that one as well. Yeah,
but all the other ones, the one was that overthrow to Ebron.
Are you talking about his incompletions?
Yeah, incompletions. And then
I'm not worried about his. I mean, because the overthrow to Ebron, you had a couple of drops in there,
batted balls. Yeah. So it was like, because I went through all this, and I thought Ben had a really good game. I didn't know exactly what you thought of it, but I thought it was a really solid game.
It was probably, like I said, it was 3 throws to me that stood out the most, and we just talked about them. The one that hit James, I think it was either James or Smith, hit him on the shoulder, bounces off. Juju makes the diving catch. Great job, great awareness by him. And then
the 2 underthrows.
Yeah, the one pick to Simmons, and then the one to 23 where it hits him in the chest. Other than that, though, I thought he was pretty clean. So I love that. And this is the thing, Ben throwing still doesn't impress me like that, because I mean, we've seen him throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. We know that's what he has. What I'm impressed with right now, though, is how he's been able to, even with pressure in his face, he's still being very accurate. He's still not, I mean, outside of, like I said, the Juju pass, he's not really forcing the ball into double and triple coverage. That's the part, to me, that's been the most impressive so far. So if he can continue that, and we know with Ben, I mean, he's been historically a double-digit interception guy. If he can continue his good decision-making like he's been the first 2 games, that to me is going to be the biggest difference. Because in the past, it wouldn't have been just 1 pick. It would have been 2 picks or 3 picks like that. And then we're in a real dogfight for no reason. Ben, as long as he keeps cleaning that up, man, I think that, dude, he's going to do like just crazy stuff this year because he has the weapons. Like Chase Claypool, that's my other positive, bro. Phenomenal, man. Like, it's one thing when you're making combat catches. It's one thing, to catch the combat catch or catch the open pass, but
close it out.
He's closing it out. I mean, you see once he caught it, how he was able to pull away from everyone.
It looked like he was tripping and he was still beating the guy.
Dude, like that to me, that's the part where I'm just like, whoa. Deontay is still flashing. Deontay, man, that's the detail of the work. We're going to get to that. But with Deontay, when he does detail it and he gets the ball in his hands, he's electric. The punt return, bro, how many times have you seen him catch a pass 2 to 3 yards and he's making everyone miss,
I remember the one, I think we got a penalty. It was like 1st and 16. We did a little screen pass to him. He got the whole first down.
Yes, dude. Yes. That's his game, though, man. Like, when you watch him on film, when the ball is in his hands, the first defender tackling him is rare. I'm talking 1 out of 10 times. He's just that electric, and it's crazy to see that at the NFL level, because this is the best of the best in terms of athletes, in terms of playing in space. But Deontay, he just has a natural feel and a natural ability to set plays up and make guys miss. I love it, man. He is just exciting to watch. And I thought Ebron played extremely well, man. Had a big time catch. He's starting to get a lot more comfortable in the offense. You can see that. He's another guy that the lack of preseason is taking up some time for him and Ben to build that rapport, but he's shown up in these first 2 games.
Absolutely.
And then the rookie, Kevin Dotson. Hey, man, gotta give him praise. It was some concerns about his ability to play, concerns about what he would look like in pass protection. I thought for the majority of the game, he was clean. He still has to clean up a little bit of the twist work in terms of just who we're passing it to in communication. But when the guys were lined up in front of him, man, if it was clear this is his guy. I thought he did a great job with that, man. I thought he did good in the running game as well. That's my initial response to what I saw from him. But overall, I thought he did really good, stepped in a big way. Ben gave him the game ball, obviously, because his dad is a diehard fan. I thought that was pretty cool as well. But overall, man, I thought that Dotson did a really good job. We were confident in Okafor. We said Okafor had started before against Von Miller, one of the best to ever do it. And I thought Okafor played well for the majority of the game. But Dotson really stepped up, because we know you never know what to expect with rookies, man. And especially how the O-line looked in week 1. I thought that they played a lot better in week 2 as well. So for me, I'm very encouraged by the offense, even though it was lapses where, it was times where it just seemed like it just couldn't get going. I still am very confident because they cleaned up a lot of the issues they had in week 1. Defensively, I thought they still are playing at a high level, man. They still got some stuff to clean up, but I thought TJ Watt, once again, he took care of business, man. You get him in a matchup like that. Yeah, he's one of those guys, dude.
I was surprised when I saw at the end 2.5 sacks. I can't even remember him. It was just like it was one of those things like, oh, Kevin Durant has 35 points.
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
it's a quiet game.
Normal. Yeah.
TJ 2.5 sacks. All right, yeah, I guess that happened.
Well,
I can't really remember.
And this is the thing too. Well, one of the sacks, it was down in the goal line, and
the dude slipped and he
slipped.
like fell on him.
But for me,
but that was because of TJ. He like put his hand up.
But my thing was
this:
the play before. I said, even if that was a gimme sack, the play before TJ earned it because he saved the touchdown. There was a miscommunication on the back end. The tight end is wide open on 1st and goal by himself in the end zone. But TJ beating the tight end the way he does, it makes him have to pump it and pull it down, and that changed everything. So when I see things like that, I'm like, oh yeah, TJ still doing what he does. Him and Bud Dupree though, boy. that tandem right now, Bud, 2 weeks in a row now, showing that last year wasn't a fluke, that he means business. And I just love the energy that those two guys play with, how they feed off of each other. Bro, they celebrate each other's plays like crazy. You love to see that type of stuff, man. So for me, I was definitely impressed with that, man. I thought that was good. And then your boy Edmunds, man. Edmunds balled, man. He looked good all game, man. I was very impressed with him, man.
Talk about penalties and stuff. The one that happened, I think, was it right before? I think it was the series before the last one where he got the sack.
Yeah,
where they gave him the first down. Dude, come on, give me a break. That wasn't. Yeah. Are you in agreement with me?
No,
that was a ticky tack flag, man.
I'm with you, but this is my thing, man. I told you I don't get in the business of complaining about calls because
I can do that.
For every call that we complain about, I'm sure they got a list of calls that they can go over and say, well, what about that?
I think that was similar to the Ebron call, though. Like the no call, they should have called that. Just keep it consistent. That's all.
What's the point of losing sleep over referees? We can all point to plays on both sides in the game that benefit both sides, man. You complain about referees. To me, that's seeking comfort. We're looking for excuses.
The reason I say that is for the Edmunds naysayers. That's all. Because people might point to that and say, oh, his game wasn't as good because of that. Almost blew it.
This is my thing. People going.
I think it was a bad call.
Listen, people going to hate regardless. How many times we talk about Ben? We know Ben's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He still has haters. It is what it is. If you sit over here and you trying to get these naysayers, man, you gonna kill yourself, man, because they always gonna be there. Always. It just is what it is. Edmunds, we said last week Edmunds played well. We've thought that when you watched him on tape, the stuff that he was giving up, it was when it was in a clear zone and it was like, yo, this is the throw we want you to have. He tackles the catch. People are gonna have preconceived notions about him. It just is what it is. This game, man, we talked about it, man. He looked good in coverage, both man and zone. His tackling was good. I love the
nice pass defense. I think it was against Melvin Gordon on the outside.
In the red zone. Yeah. So when we look at that type of stuff, like that to me is growth. That to me is improvement. And then making the routine play. You know how many guys missed that sack that he had to win the game when you're coming by yourself because you're initially thinking, oh, all right, I'm by myself. No, and this is what you do. The closest route to the quarterback is what? His inside shoulder. Because, hey, it's 3 steps to get here, whereas if I go upfield, it's 5 steps. So 90% of the people, if I put you in that position, you're going to go to his inside shoulder. Trust me, professionals do it too. It happens a lot. And they miss the layup because when you come under like that, now the quarterback can step back, bubble around, step aside. We see Russell Wilson do it all the time. We see Ben do it all the time. We can go down the list. But he does the routine right. He goes upfield shoulder, even though it's extra steps, even though okay, it's going to take me longer and he could potentially throw it. But what you're doing is securing the play because now that guy can't step up. He's stepping up to an offensive line and now you're just closing down. It's easy to go 5 yards and come back that 1 or 2 yards. If you initially take that inside angle saying, oh, I'm going to get him right now, and he bubbles back, now he has all that sideline around you because you've lost contain. Stuff that people don't think about, but to me, I see him detailing his work, and that's why he was able to secure that play.
Close it.
It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful, and I was glad that it was him because we talked about it, man. We did a segment last week on Edmunds because we were like, man, people are going on him for no reason. So it was good to see, like, all right, thank you, make the play, shut everybody up, thank you, please.
Now, do you have anything else on defense? Because I wanted to say a thing or two about the offense, and it was you talking about with Ben and just his throwing. Like, it was the stuff that we were talking about last week. A lot of quick passes, man. Yeah. A lot of quick passes. It was a la Brady and the Patriots, just getting the ball out quick. Now, I think the offensive line did really well just for the most part, but I think we did mitigate that because of those quick throws, Ben getting it out fast. And I'm starting to think, dude, I know Connor didn't play bad. I don't think there was anything really wrong with the running game. But it feels like maybe we're gearing towards that where we're going to be doing short passes for running plays almost just because of the weapons we have at receiver.
Well, a couple of things. I like the fact that you brought that up. The quick game definitely helped out the offensive line protect a ton. When you're quick gaming, even if you do it 2 and 3 times and then on third down you drop back, what it does is this: as a rusher, those quick game rushes, it's still taking breath. You're like, dang, I'm losing energy because I'm rushing hard. Ball's coming out fast. Now I got to go chase. Now when it's time for you to drop back and it's time for you to have that good rush, you're a little winded. Those type of things help out a ton in terms of how you mitigate premier edge rushers like a guy like Bradley Chubb. That's how you do that. And that's ultimately how you protect your offensive line. Coach Simon talked about it. He said, going into the game that they're going to do things schematically to help those guys out, in particular Kevin Dotson, because it was his first start. But to me, I loved seeing that. I do think that for the running game to improve, though, the O-line has to get more movement up front. They still haven't been able to get that crazy movement like we're accustomed to seeing them do. And I think that's part of the reason why not only are they struggling on first down, but they're struggling on third downs as well, because they're getting behind the sticks early on. Now you're getting second and longs, and you're either playing the game of, all right, do I do the traditional screen or draw play on second down, which wasn't working because they just weren't in sync on their screens and draws. So now I'm looking at third and long, or on second and long, do I take a shot and try to get a chunk play to kind of throw teams off? But then if you don't get that, now you're sitting at third and long again. First down is the down that they have to do a lot better on, man. They've been struggling on it these first 2 games. I'm not sure why, because they have the athletes to create the spark plays, the X plays, plays 15 yards and plus. But for some reason on first down, they've been struggling. So look for them to get that cleaned up. Because once they get that cleaned up and they can get into second and manageable, man, now you get the full gamut. Now you can really attack teams and utilize these weapons a lot more. When it's second and long, it's hard. You're putting yourself in a predicament, because it's like, all right, do I just take this play to get back to third and short or third and manageable? Or do I try to get it all back at once? This is bad football. It's bad business. So if they can improve on first down, man, that I think they'll start to really tap into their full potential of really being that exciting offense that we know they can be, not just for a quarter, but for 4 quarters. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Second thing was Juju finishing off some of those runs, man. Like getting it, I think it was like 10 yards to go to get the first down. He'd get it with like 7 or 8 yards to go. Finish the run, stiff arm the dude. I think he did that. I think he did it twice. Yeah. Definitely twice. But man, I was impressed with that. And I think we talked about this a little bit off the mic. I think Juju might be finding his role in the offense in that slot with some of those short passes. Whereas then we have Deontay, who's the playmaker, the electric guy, and we're seeing Claypool step up as the downfield threat, a la Martavis Bryant. So I was impressed with that. And then I guess last thing with Dawson, did you see that video where Ben, he did the rollout? It was like, vintage Ben. He threw the touchdown pass to Deontay, and then Dawson came rolling out, running. He was going to go upfield to block. Like, that's the kind of thing that, like, Steeler Nation's, like, getting excited about. They're like, oh, man, this dude knows what's up. He's about to go out there and protect Ben. So that's another thing why people, I think, were I guess, proud of his game and kind of excited. I'm trying to think. Defense, I know you hit on a lot of things. I think we kind of hit everything coming into the game with our preview of what could concern us, because we held Fant in check for the most part the whole game. But then there was one drive where he was cooking Bush a little bit. I know he had something on Minka.
This is the thing with Fant. The game plan prior to Drew Lock getting injured would have been them featuring him. Because Drew got hurt when he did, Driscoll just didn't look like he was trying to feature Fant the way that Locke features him on tape. And it looked like it took to the fourth quarter for Driscoll to realize, oh, I got a weapon here. If I just throw him the ball, we're going to be fine.
So did he have more opportunities than we think? Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Multiple opportunities. But the thing was, the rush mitigated some of it. It was times where he was open. The rush didn't allow Driscoll to see him. And then it was times where Driscoll was just looking other places. Whereas like with Locke, when you watch Locke on tape, Fant was his first option every time. He looks Fant first, and then from there he would go Judy, he would go Sutton, and go down the list of guys. Whereas with Driscoll didn't lock in on Fant until late in the fourth quarter. And then when he did, you saw the success that he was able to have. So that was the only thing with that. That was one of the matches we talked about going into the game. And yeah, Fant is as good as advertised. And I felt like if they would have featured him more, could have been a little bit different. But that's some of the stuff that the linebackers are definitely going to have to improve upon. Like you said, it wasn't just Devin. Minka had some of that as well, man.
Yeah.
Fant is a good tight end. It's the reason why he was a first-round draft pick, man. It's the reason why they love him in Denver. He's a good player, and he's going to continue to grow and get even better. It's just one of the matchups, man. It's one of those matchups.
Yeah, and then all the receivers, including Fant, they all had over 40 yards.
They had a ton of drops though too, man.
Yeah, they did. So it was like one of those things where they burned us here or there on some plays, but there was nothing that you felt like, oh wow, they're completely dominating us receivers versus cornerback, the receivers versus secondary.
But I do think a lot of that was due to the drops though.
Yeah.
Like prime example, 30 seconds left in the half, second quarter, 30 seconds left. It hits KJ in the chest. I think it was Steven Olsen jumps with him. I forgot who was next to him. But when you slow it down, it hits him in the chest. If he catches that...
It was that bomb, right?
Yeah, on the right side of the field. If he catches that, he's on the 5-yard line. It's a totally different conversation. We talked about Judy and his drops throughout the game.
Yeah, he had a couple,
Judy,
right?
Hamler, Sutton, all those guys had drops in the game. And all their drops, especially the downfield ones, you're like, whoo. For me, that change, if those are completions, I think we're having a totally different conversation here about how we view the secondary right now. But because they were drops, you know how it is. It looks as it's incompletion.
That's the thing.
The yards don't give up. We're good to go. We talk about it in a very, very high and exciting manner.
I know you're hitting this point because I just kind of blocked them out. I'm not really recognizing it at all.
Like what I've seen from our secondary, the first two games, a lot of miscommunication on the back end. The touchdown to Noah Fant, the 7 route that he caught on Devin that everybody saw, it's miscommunication. It was a couple of those bunch routes. When we're talking about bunch formations, anytime you're getting 2 and 3 guys together in close proximity, that's a bunch route. That's a bunch concept from a formation standpoint, and they have certain routes out of it, and it puts a strain on the defense. It makes you have to say, okay, well, if we're in cover 3, how are we playing this? If we're in cover 4, how are we playing this? If it's man, how are we playing this? Each coverage has a different way that you're playing it. And right now, I feel like this is a product of no preseason as well. You can just see they're not as clean and crisp on the communication element of it. That's the biggest thing that I'm taking away from our secondary right now. But at the same time, I do feel like they are making the plays that are available. Joe Hayden in the interception. That was off of what?
That's a drop. It was a drop. That was right in his hands.
It was off of a drop, but he capitalized on the opportunity. Anytime the ball has been around, how many times have we seen the
Mike
Steelers?
Hilton picking up the fumble.
Cam Hayward, first game when Bud forces the tip pass. We're seeing those balls aren't falling harmlessly to the ground on this defense. And that's the sign of a great defense. We would talk about that. I
remember 4 or 5 years ago, we get pissed at that because some players in the secondary would drop it. And it's like, as much as you want to say, all right, these guys are on defense.
No, yeah.
And that could cost you a game,
And prime example, number 23 for Denver. He drops the interception, and then look at how the rest of the game goes where they just attack him after that. It's multiple times where a guy's in position to make
I think we scored on that drive.
Yeah,
is that the Connor touchdown?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, but when you're on defense and you have opportunity to create a turnover, 9 times out of 10, if you miss that opportunity, typically the next play, the next drive, they're coming and they're hitting that play. They're scoring on it. And that's the signs of bad defenses. Whereas right now, anytime the ball has been around, whether it's on the ground or tipped into the air, the Steelers defense is finding ways to come up with it. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I still sit here and I'm encouraged, because I'm like, they're going to get the communication fixed. That's just, like I said, no preseason. It's going to take some time to get that fixed.
Well, that was something I wanted to ask you. You think it's just that, as opposed to our guys might have lost a step? Or we're not the same from last year? You think it's just more communication then?
No, I mean, you can look on the tape. If guys were just, okay, he has a man-to-man and he's cooking them, that's one thing. But what I'm seeing is, okay, these guys, I just knowing the defense, I know these 3 guys are working together. I see pre-snap talking, and then post-snap, I don't see the communication. And then at the end of the play, I see this guy looking at that guy and their hands are going back and forth. That's telling me that is communication. And that's why I said I'm encouraged. I'd rather be communication and technique, because from a technique standpoint, the 2-point conversion by Devin that Noah Fant got on Devin Bush, for example, that's not personnel. You don't think Devin is fast enough to run with Noah Fant across the field? No, that's a technique thing in terms of Devin. You already have inside leverage. Shuffle, stay square, roll with it, or create contact. You're within the 5 yards. Once he's dragging across like that, get 2 hands on him. It's a lot easier to cover him with your hands on him underneath, especially with the rush coming. But what does Devin do? Devin hops back for a second, and allows Noah to have a clean release across his face. Now he's in a chase technique, very similar to what we talked about with the Giants guy against Juju, going across him and we say go behind or go in front. And he let him cross his face. Now he's chasing. Exact same scenario. Well, with football, man, it's very simple, but you have to do those routine things right every time. Otherwise, you're going to get beat like that. And that's the only thing that happened on the 2-point conversion. That's just one of those plays. That's fixable, though. That's not him losing a step. That's not him not being able to cover Noah. That's just detail your work a little bit more technique. And like I said, with some of the plays that I was seeing downfield, it was very similar stuff. It's like, all right, you play this right with the technique, man. You get hands on him early, that changes that whole route. If this guy's aligned here pre-snap versus right there, it's simple of 2 yards, whether you're on the hash, inside the hash, outside the hash. It's simple, but all three of those landmarks means different things. If you're doing that every time, man, it's a totally different ball game. That's why I'm just like, this is more just lack of preseason equals this right here. It equals when it's gray areas from a coverage standpoint when you're working with somebody. That's what you can't account for in practice. Practice, the coach staff are going to give you X amount of plays. You've already watched these plays on tape, so you already know what to expect. In the game, they're going to have wrinkles. In the game, they're going to do something you didn't see on tape. What are our rules, though? What do we talk about throughout the week? What did we talk about last time this happened to us? They're learning out on the fly right now, but they'll be fine.
Yeah, I feel good about it. Is there anything else? I got one or two things maybe.
Yeah, what else you got, man?
I think again. No, you go ahead, man.
I was going to talk special teams, man. I thought Deontay Johnson and Ray McCloud, man, They continue to flash, man.
Wow, yeah.
Shout out to them. I do want to say I think that now that we're seeing high level returning in both the punt and kickoff coverage, I mean both in punt and kickoff return, that changes the whole vibe of how we view special teams here. Like we'll sit here because Ray McCloud had a nice return on kickoff and Deontay had the punt return that got called back, and we'll say it was a great game by the special teams. Whereas in the past, the special teams could have played great, but because they didn't have any splash returns, we're over here like, man, Danny Swift is terrible, man. What's going on with special teams? It's all perception here, man. It's all perception. But for me, man, I thought that as a whole, though, the special teams unit has been playing well. Now, we still, and from a punting standpoint, got to get a little bit more consistent with that. But I was still impressed with the coverage units. I was impressed with the young guys on coverage.
Your boy Claypool.
Claypool got a tackle on kickoff, punt. He had Benny Snell had a tackle on punt. Dangerfield had another tackle. Like, just seeing that Derek Watt, another guy, like when you're seeing those young guys that, and when we're talking about young, I'm talking about Claypool.
Yeah, we even got that
Benny
safety.
Snell.
I mean, the dude fumbled it or whatever, but yeah.
But you got to make the play still.
Nice, yeah.
Like when you're seeing that, that's letting me know that these guys, not only are they committed to their position groups, but they're committed to the team winning, because special teams has zero to do with your position group. That's just want to. That's effort. That's you saying, look, man, I'm faster than you. I'm a better athlete than you. Special teams is all about who has the better athletes. That's all it is. It's scheme plays a role in it, but it's more so it's heavy personnel based. Whereas when it comes to like 11 on 11, a lot of times scheme outweighs more so the personnel element of it because you're using so many bodies. But man, with special teams, man, I thought that they've looked really good, man, these first two games thus far. And like I said, that anytime you get special teams points, should have been more points. It's a great day.
No, yeah, Boswell kicking good. I didn't do my kicking report. I was like, no, this is dumb because I'm not really going to be going into
You're
this.
Crazy, man. It was money kicking this week.
I know they were awesome, but I don't want to go into, oh, he drew this one, he faded. I don't care. They were on the money.
All I want to say is this. We balked at McManus kicking a 58-yarder and missing. Even though he had plenty of legs,
he definitely did.
He was wide right. Did you see Harrison Buckner, Kansas City Chiefs? That boy hit
three in a row. Yeah.
53, 58, 58. Holy, it had plenty of leg to spare. Plenty.
It didn't look like it on the live shot. It looked like it just got over, but when they showed it from the back, it was like 65 to 67 yards.
Yeah, plenty of leg. I don't know what's going on, but dude, that was, I was like, man, that AFC West a little different right now.
I'm not going to lie. I was like surprised, especially after they got the penalty. I was like, what are they? I mean, if they miss this.
Yeah. That could cost you the game.
Yeah.
It didn't even like they hesitated. It wasn't even like,
because initially it was 4th and 2. I was go for it with Mahomes.
They hit the 53-yarder. It was a false start. And then some people were like, oh no, he kicked it too, so you shouldn't have kicked it. And for me, I was a little concerned at 50. I don't know what that looks like. When he hit the first 58, I said, oh yeah, he doesn't care. Because first off, kickers aren't going to just keep kick. Like if you feel like you're running out of leg, once the flag happens, you know the flag before they even go through the kick. Some of the guys will stop, other guys go through the motion. he really went and nailed the 58 after the penalty. I said, oh yeah, he doesn't care. He's like with it. Because if you had any concerns or doubts, you're not putting that out there. You don't want even the bad mojo of it not going far enough.
Jinxing yourself.
Yeah. My man said, oh, this is nothing. Are y'all ready yet? Are y'all ready to go home? Because if y'all ready to go home, I'm going to send y'all home right now. And then my man drilled 58 down the middle like it was nothing. Big dog status. I said, Lord have mercy. I loved it.
It was, dude.
It was beautiful.
That game was incredible.
It was, man.
That was incredible. There's a lot to that. Chargers played Mahomes really good.
They did, yeah.
The only first downs he was getting late in the game were him scrambling. I don't know what they were doing in coverage, but he couldn't seem to get anything going. He had to use his legs a lot. Like, it looked like they really had to lay everything out there to try to get that dub.
That was a good game, man. Obviously, I'd have to like break it down a lot more, but I just thought as a whole, I thought the Chargers front, I thought they really got after the Chiefs O-line. We know the Chiefs O-line is good, but they were really getting after him. Mitchell Schwartz, we know he's an all-pro, a beast. Melvin Ingram was giving him some work. I was impressed, man. Obviously, Bosa, man, when he was fresh, he was doing his thing as well.
Yeah, they had to sit out after that play, late in the game. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing, man? They need you out there.
But see, I can respect it. I'm like, bro, I'd rather you take 2 plays off and then come back, because he ended up taking like 3 plays and then comes back. I'd rather you do that than you try to loaf for 3 plays and you're not even giving me anything. Now I'm over here pulling my hair out when they show a dagger because you're just over here fake rushing because you don't want to come off the field because of the pride element of it, man. I was impressed with that. But ultimately, man, that was a good game. Side note, Anthony Lynn, I appreciate you shouting on my guy Tyrod, saying that, hey,
oh, dude,
even if he comes
crazy.
back, Tyrod's the guy. I appreciate, because Tyrod's from the crib, 757. That's my man's. Hey, I'm a big Tyrod fan. But Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, nothing against him.
Listen. If you don't start Justin Herbert next week.
Dude, if I'm a Chargers fan, I would be livid.
Like, what are you doing? Okay? Tyrod is listen, 757 is tatted on us. We love the crib. I love anybody from the crib.
Want to make sure he's good, too. I don't know what the hell was happening. Chest pains.
Too, bro. I'm like, you trying to make an anxiety attack? What was going on? Either way. Justin Herbert's your guy. He's your guy.
You cannot
you can't go back. You can't. He's the guy.
I looked this up. Like, dude, Herbert with the 311. I think Tyrod's only had 1 300-yard game in his career.
Yeah, that was in Buffalo. Yeah,
and that was like an overtime game. One of his last games in his career. Like, coming in as a rookie like that. I mean,
listen, I feel bad in a sense. I'm like, damn, it's the second time it's happening for Tyrod. He gets hurt Thursday night game. Baker comes in, lights it up. Now he turns around, gets hurt Sunday game. Herbert comes, lights it up. Hey, it's unfortunate. But Anthony Lynn, come on, baby. You can't. You don't do this to yourself.
I think in both scenarios, it made sense. Like, all right, there's no way you could go back. But I think even more in this case with Herbert over Baker.
Herbert was 22 of 33, 315 passing. Like, bro, was it three touchdowns he threw?
I don't know. Did he have any rushing? I don't know. I think he had a touchdown and a pick, but I don't know if he had any rushing.
You're right. But for me, I'm just like, bro, he was balling. And it wasn't like he was going to get some scrub defense either. The Chiefs, we talked about, they've improved a lot on defense, man.
Going toe-to-toe with Mahomes. Like, you want to talk about defense or whatever, it's still just like that type of QB matchup.
Absolutely, man.
Like, you would think, like, part of me, you know how it is with quarterbacks. All right, let's see what this guy can do up against big competition or other big names. He stepped up first game like that. Yeah.
That's the biggest name in the game right now.
I don't know what the hell's going on, dude, with quarterbacks coming in like that. It's becoming insane because Burrow looks really good. He looks...
But let's not don't try to just.
We got 2 rookie quarterbacks that came in, just dropped 300 yards.
I understand that, but it's. I'm more impressed with Herbert.
Oh no! I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying.
Where we going here, man? Where we going?
No, I'm not doing that. Right. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even want to talk about that.
I was like, wait a minute.
I didn't think Burrow has looked bad at all.
No, but he's looked good. Yeah.
But here's what I want to say: is just these dudes are stepping in, dropping 300 yards, rookie quarterbacks like this. Yeah. And it seems like, oh, wow, these guys are already a top 20, top 15 quarterback right off the bat.
Who's saying that?
I am, just from my eye test. Herbert.
Man, I was say, what?
Herbert, 311, first game against the Chiefs like that.
And you throwing him in the top 20 that quick?
Top 20, yeah. I mean, we saw what Cousins been doing. He's definitely getting a knockdown right now.
Cousins looked good week 1. He looked bad week 2. Jimmy G got hurt. Sam Darnold looked bad. Like, Josh Allen stepped up. Josh Allen, what was that?
I never said anything. Dude.
Huh? You said Josh? It sounded like you said Josh.
I didn't say anything, dude.
It sounded like you said Josh Allen, 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks.
I didn't say a word.
Fourth quarter comeback, clutch drive, dimes on. Is that what it sounded like? That's what you said. Because I know you always talk about Josh and can he make the leap after you act like you ain't see last year's leap. But I was just trying to make sure. Is that what you was talking about? Or we not talking that yet? Because if we not talking that yet, we could wait.
I thought we were talking Steelers.
Oh, okay. I thought so as well. But you was taking me down this. I was,
I just say he's playing good, man. He looks really good, dude. He looks really good.
Looks really good. He's supposed to be player of the week this week. Boy, stop playing. Looks really good. What? You're lying to yourself. It looks great. We'll get into that though. We'll get into that.
Right now or later?
We'll get into it later. But ultimately, man,
we were on Chiefs Chargers. We good with that? Anything with that?
Nah, we're good there. But I was gonna say let's to wrap up the Steelers before we go around the league like we were about to do.
Okay.
To just finish Steelers, man. Like I said, for me, final thoughts on it. I thought that gritty performance, found a way to win. I love how they handled the adversity because each one of them had adversity. Like I said, offensively, whether it was the turnovers, defensively, whether it was getting gashed, especially early on against the run, then later against the pass, or even in special teams responding from a penalty. I thought all three phases found ways to contribute to the game. All three phases found ways to create more opportunities. And all three phases found ways to just say, you know what, regardless of if it's going for us or not, we're going to come out of this thing with a dub. To me, that was very impressive. And that's why I'm definitely excited about this team going forward.
I just checked my notes. I don't really know if I have much else to add here.
And shout out to the notebook too, man. You went old school today. I like that.
I wanted to try it this morning. I rewatched the game and I just wanted to write it down with a pen. I had a really smooth pen. It was an enjoyable experience. I got like 3 pages of notes here.
I like it.
This is like my summary page here.
Yeah, look at you detailing your work. I see in the
somewhat, but look how sloppy it is. I got some doodles here.
No, you say that's sloppy. You sit in the meeting room with some of these guys on the team where you got to take notes every day, and not everybody. We know this is the best student. Yeah, that looks like A+ work right there, my friend. That's all I'm saying.
I feel good about the win. As sloppy as it was as the second half, I feel really good about our team. And I looked at the schedule that we got coming up. I feel good. I just feel really good, man. We got the Texans next week, and I'm just saying it right now. That's going to be a blowout. We're going to beat them. Now, Texans look bad, so I'm feeling really good.
Now, I got to ask you a question because you said we should be a blowout.
Yeah.
Why is the Texans game a blowout, but you didn't think that the Broncos would be a blowout?
What I said double digits. I said we won by 14.
Yeah. And they ended up winning by 5 to the backup quarterback at home.
What'd you say at the beginning? We're stacking up wins and
No. Stacking up wins and blowing out is 2 different words. You said they will blow out the Texans. I'm not saying you think they're gonna blow out the Texans.
I'm saying that now. Yeah.
But how many scores?
I'd probably be saying. I'll probably say 30-13. I'm around that number. I kind of like that.
You're funny. Golly, you're funny.
Dude, their defense is not good.
Okay.
Watson doesn't have any weapons. You see Hopkins going off with Arizona.
Okay.
That was a terrible trade. It's looking like even more and more.
All right.
What are you saying? Am I missing something here? Ravens blew them out. They controlled that whole game.
Hey. You got it, bro. I'm gonna tap into that next time we record. We ain't doing that today, but I can assure you it's not how you making it though.
I know. I just had to say that right now. So you already know what my pick's gonna be and everything. But I'll rewatch the game. I mean, we already saw them against the Chiefs in the opener. I'll rewatch the Ravens game here, but I'm feeling really good about that now.
Now, feeling good is one thing.
I'm feeling good about
different.
I'm feeling good about this team, man. Just the vibes and everything. Like we come out of that game with a win. It was sloppy a little bit, but hey, we pulled it out. And like you said, it's not a personnel issue. It's not like, oh man, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to bounce back, or I think this is going to be more of what we're going to be seeing in the future. I expect everything to be getting better. We have the talent on both ends, so I'm excited. And I just want to say to everyone that's saying, oh, you saying the Steelers best team, you're biased, this and that. You know what? Shut up. We're 2-0 right now, top of the AFC. It's running through Pittsburgh. So
there we go.
There was legitimate reason to be putting us at the top in my preseason rankings. So there you go.
Talk to him, Deke. God dang.
I was gonna drop an F-bomb, but it's good. I'm gonna
Deke said, "Look, I'm tired of y'all, man. I got this. I know what I'm picking." I hear you, man.
I'm not gonna lie though, it is funny when people come at me.
Yo.
I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the banter back and forth.
It's good times.
It's
man.
sports. It's sports.
Good. It's good times, man. I'm not. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, dude, Steelers look good.
All right. So
now what?
Now As we talk about some of these other teams in the AFC, in particular, it's a team that plays a couple hours from here in Western New York. Have you heard of them before? Buffalo. Oh,
They look good, dude. I got nothing else to say.
they look really good, man.
I want to ask you this, though, because I didn't get to watch the whole game. I just I had the Steeler game on. I had Red Zone. I actually put my mix to a little bit lower level this week because the Steelers were the main game. I just kind of wanted to focus on that. Had Red Zone in the background. But, I mean, they still only won by 3. Like, do you have any concerns there?
No, I'm glad you said that because, see, I watched the Steelers game live, and then obviously I rewatched, but then I watched the Bills game completely later on, just watching it, everything. 2 things. Number one, they're missing their linebackers. Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmunds got hurt in the first game. No, Tremaine has Tremaine has a shoulder. Could be, week to week. Next couple weeks is more pain tolerance. Is going to, obviously, as the thing progresses, we'll see when he gets back. Milano has a hamstring issue. Yeah, so your interior linebackers, you had AJ Klein and I forgot his first name, but his last name is Dotson. They're very young, and in terms of Dotson is young. This is Dotson's second year. He was an undrafted guy. And then with AJ Klein, he's older, but obviously he's not a coverage guy. He's more of your bigger body Sam linebacker type. That's what he played in Carolina.
Vince Williams, kind of like Vince Williams.
Yeah, but at least with Vince gives you the rush element of it. AJ's not that. AJ's just like, think about an old school 4-3 Sam linebacker. Like, that's his game. So that was the biggest thing. Fitzpatrick's a good quarterback. We talked about it. Like, he's going to get hot at times. He's going to be cold at times. He knows how to attack. And ultimately, they ran a ton of over routes, crossing routes that highlight the inside of your defense, your 2 linebackers not being there. That's what that was. But the thing that I was impressed with, and along with how choppy the game was too, because you had the lightning delayed, then they had it was like the power went out in the stadium. It was all type of stuff going on down there.
They actually had to show
the Steelers game.
Well, no. The one of the Dolphins touchdowns, I think they actually had to show it on Red Zone through a fan's iPhone because they were like, we don't have actual footage of this because of the power delay. And I think at the end of the Red Zone, I think the 1 o'clock games or the 4 o'clock games, I can't really remember. They were like, we always show every touchdown at the end of the day, but we don't have the actual footage of this one. So here's an iPhone footage.
Yeah, but I thought as a whole, though, man, when you look at Fitzpatrick, him and Devontae Parker, shout out to him, too. It was questionable whether or not he was going to be able to play because he was dealing with some injuries. Those two have a really good rapport. Like I said, Fitzpatrick is very familiar with Buffalo. Obviously, being on the team, being in the division for multiple years now, they match up well. But the difference is this, man. The reason, in terms of the score being what it was, similar to Steelers game, early on, the Bills were in line to blow them out. I think at one point it was 17-zip. About to score again. It was looking like, okay, it's about to happen. And I forgot what ends up happening on it. But then from there, Fitz continues to get them down the field. Couple of field goals here or there. Then they get 2 touchdowns. Gesicki was balling out.
Yeah,
he looked really good. But Gesicki and Devontae Parker were really creating some issues. And rightfully so. I mean, we know they're 2 good players in their own right. And we know that the Bills are missing guys. But the reason why I was so impressive was the offensive end. In terms of Josh stepping up, bro, you talk about
looks good, man.
You talk about the clutch factor, the come from behinds, and all this other stuff on the road, bro. And the thing is, it's not just like he's only throwing the digs because people will see the stat line digs. Oh, I think it was what
he had a lot. He had like 150.
Yeah, eight catches, 153 yards, and they'll think, well, that was his main guy, bro. He still had John Brown who had 4 for 82. He had Cole Beasley 5 for 70. He had Isaiah McKenzie 2 for 42. He was spreading the ball around. And he was very sharp, very efficient. And he was still missing on throws. He still had a couple of throws that he missed on. But it's like, bro, you see this man 35 of 24, 417. Like I said, 4 touchdowns, no picks. And he still was missing some throws. Like, he's starting to come into his own. He is showing that he's taking that next step. And that was the biggest difference in terms of why, even with everything going how it was going with the defense struggling because of the lack of the injuries and stuff like that, he was the guy that was saying basically, man, I'm not going to allow us to lose. In the fourth quarter, they were down. It was fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left. They were down 3. Marches them down, dime after dime. The go-ahead throw. Dude, it was one of the ones I showed you. Actually,
I know,
when we talk about the top 5 plays.
I've seen these throws. It's like, bro, really
he's
nice
scrambling
throws.
through, throwing dime where only the guy can catch it. Like, it was beautiful. And then you see the dagger at the end.
On the run. Listen, I'll give him credit, man. Like, these throws are absurd.
And then for our top plays that I have put out there, the one at the end of John Brown, the essential like clinching score, like they had a 3-point lead or whatever. Then that was the dagger to end it. The thing that I love was the play before, he had just missed John Brown on a bomb. And it was bad. It was like you see the footwork and the throw was just off. You're like, dude, like that could have been a pick. Like, no, now granted, nobody was around in that vein, but it was like it should have been a touchdown. But because it was such a bad throw, it should have been picked. Look at the next play, comes right back, same concept, dime, and you're like, bro, that's the difference right now. So even with them having a quote unquote close game, it was an ugly performance by the defense due to injuries, due to them not having the personnel right now. But their offense rose up crazily. And in particular, Josh Allen. And that's why typically, man, if Josh doesn't play like that, that's a game that it would lose.
Yeah.
Think about us last year when we didn't have Ben, how close games like that, it's like, bro, we're more than likely it's going to end up, we're on the short end of the stick. That's the difference right now, man. Josh is stepping up in a big time way playing like that. So score says one thing, but ultimately, man, like,
I was interested.
It was a lot of stuff that went into it.
I was interested, at least your perspective for the team as a whole, because they got a tougher opponent coming up this week, right?
Let me see what they have.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, all right, let's see. That was the Dolphins, but and like you're saying, the offense looked really good. Josh Allen looked really good, but they still only won by 3, which
they
was
played the Rams. But remember, week 1, Miami versus the Patriots. We know if anyone didn't watch Sunday Night Football last night, you missed it. The Patriots are a good team. Newsflash. I hope y'all not banking on Cam sucking, because he doesn't. He lit it up yesterday.
It's probably the best he's thrown.
Absolutely. They should have won. Let's keep it real. They should have won. Edelman dropped it in the end zone. He did.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it was on the last drive.
Hands, yeah.
He just, he was tired from catching. Like I think that was his most yards of all time.
It was. Yeah, it was Edelman's most yards of all time.
Would you have been expecting that? You know what I mean? Coming into this season?
Not at all. Especially when you think of Brady and Edelman's relationship.
Yeah.
And the performance they had.
And just like
together.
how much Brady would target him. And like Cam isn't completely like a Brady like prototype quarterback.
Yeah.
But he proved in the last year at Carolina he can make those short throws. And now, dude, he's not even making the short throws here. He was stretching. He was dropping dimes.
Daggers, bro. And they were still dropping them too. Let's not act like he wasn't getting. He got some guys that's dropping the ball out there. But bro, he looks good. That looks like MVP year Cam. Like we talk about like when his running ability, he's not even like when they're in the red zone, that's when he's focusing on doing some of the runs and stuff like that, the QB powers and things like that. But the majority of the game, man, he's back there throwing that thing. He's looking to stretch it downfield. Like, to me, that is
arm
beautiful,
there,
man.
Dude,
oh yeah, bro, flick of the wrist. And for me, I'm just like, every Cam hater that was out there, bro, it looks good. It's crazy to think that nobody was offering that man, bro. He's
$1 million contract this year.
Crazy.
Actually, that's another thing I want to say.
Crazy.
I had Cam in my top 10. People were ripping on me for that. Go home. Shut up.
Wait a minute now. I'm not going to let you do that because Cam's in your top 10. He was available doing free agency, and you was over here like, nah, we don't need Cam. Don't bring him in at all. So you had a chance to get a top 10 quarterback who we know was balling. We could have kept him out of New England.
No.
Yes, he was. We could have kept him out of New England. Because we said, remember, after Jameis, it was Cam.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I didn't even consider the keep him out of New England.
And
thing.
Now he's in New England. Now that's a dog we're going to have to deal with. I'm just throwing, we're going to have to deal with that. That's real. You saw what it looks like.
I didn't think of that art of war strategy there. Wow.
It's all good, man. You know why? Because you was looking in your rear view too much. We talk about this all the time, man. We did text yesterday. I do remember that. Man, we need that team to lose.
I did say that, dude, because Patriots lost. It does help us a little bit.
And what did I say to you? I said, man, if you win in the games you're supposed to be winning, it doesn't matter, right?
I agree with that, but it doesn't hurt to have a little insurance.
Yeah, if you want insurance because you're banking on losing. Where's your confidence at?
I'm not banking on losing.
That's what happens when you start thinking about insurance. Oh man, I'm good. I can
I'm
drop
good.
one.
I'm the fan. I don't want the players thinking like this.
The Clippers were up 3-1. They probably thought they had a lot of insurance. You saw how that worked out for them.
I don't know if the players shouldn't be thinking that.
I'm just saying.
Fans can. I can
players
think that.
human? Players are human.
Huh?
Players are human. We're not robots. Well, we can't think like how regular people think. What that mean? we different type of people. We ain't knowing people no more.
No.
What? We cyborgs? I ain't know that. I missed that memo.
I'd like to think if I was a player, I wouldn't be focused on what fans were saying.
Nah, it's a reason why we got social media. We like to be plugged in. We have conversations. Dang on, man. Why you giving us the short? We're not allowed to have fun. We're not allowed to fan every once in a while.
You're allowed, but I don't know. There's a reason LeBron tries to unplug during the playoffs.
Even though he's not this year, though.
Well, yeah, that's for health concerns or whatever it is. Just trying to.
Man, that boy was putting all pictures of AD getting buckets. I ain't trying to hear that no more. Stop it.
I don't know, but yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point.
But yeah, if you take care of business, it doesn't matter what everybody's doing around you. Coach T would always talk about this, man. You handle business in your stadium so you don't have to scoreboard watch. You don't have to worry about what's going on in other stadiums. Because if you start making a habit of hoping and dreaming and wishing that this team makes it and they don't and they lose and they win, you're going to be on the outside looking in.
I want home field, man. I want home field.
We're going to be on the outside looking in if we think like that. And we've seen that in the past, recently and long term. So let's just focus on us winning. Leave the negative energy over there, because the negative energy you keep putting out there, it's going to bite you back. That's all I'm saying, baby. It is.
I want home field, man.
And how we go home field? Are we gonna go home field by hoping that somebody else loses, or by making sure that we're winning, taking care of business? Which one? You tell me. I've never seen a team go 16-0 and not get home field advantage. That's all I'm saying.
It wouldn't hurt having someone lose late in the season.
I've never seen a team go 16-0 and not have home field advantage.
That's true, man. That's true.
So take care of business.
That's true. I'm just saying, like,
we looking for handouts now?
Nah, dude, not at all.
I thought Ben was great. I thought the offense. I thought if everything is as great as we say it is, why are we over here asking for hope? Hell, can I get some hope?
I've seen too many fluky things happen, man. The Saints game late in the year, the refs blew it. Matter. Refs have blown it for us in the past. Fluky things have had the Jesse James touchdown. I've seen
comfort like that.
I'm just telling you, I've seen history happens, dude. Like you got to look at history, and I'm not saying the refs aren't perfect now. The refs are human. So my question is this then: so what was your thought process in the past? Weren't you doing the same thing you were doing now? Well, I'm trying to tell you not to do. Weren't you doing that back then? No.
You ain't never look at nobody and say, I hope they lose then?
What I'm saying is, all right, that Patriots game. The whole Jesse James debacle. We lose the 1 seed. Okay. The next week, I'm rooting for the Patriots to lose so we can get the 1 seed.
But prior to that Patriots game, don't act like you didn't not once throughout that whole season and say, man, we need that team to lose. I hope this team loses.
Hell yeah. We got to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, but you see how it works out, right?
Well, we already had some losses at that point, so it's
I'm just saying, man, you're throwing a negative energy out there, bro.
Nah, it's just being real, dude.
Just being negative. Throw positivity out there, man. I want us to win. I want us to dominate. We gonna take care of business. Then you good. You start thinking that negative stuff, man. It gets you, bro. When you gonna learn? When you gonna learn,
dude. I want the 1 seed. That's all.
All right. I want positivity because that equals championships. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Wait, on the Cam thing though, I do want to say this. I thought there would be stuff with Steeler fans. You know my thinking. I was like, I just want Ben.
Negative thinking again?
I just don't want any controversy. That's all.
So you said the negative thinking has got us in this situation now. Huh? Is that what you're telling me?
Dude, we're looking good. Ben looks good, man.
And the Patriots look really good too now.
That's where we're at, man.
Patriots look really good too now. A team that we all thought was going to be trash.
Well, hey, dude, don't be throwing that negative energy out there. We're going to take care of them. We shouldn't have to worry about that, right? We shouldn't have to worry about that.
No, I'm just saying, do you see how your negative energy of not wanting Cam because you were scared of a controversy at quarterback has now created a whole new set of problems? That's all I'm saying, man. If it's negative, it's going to find a way to come back. I'm trying to figure out what you missing here, man.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
What do you? I don't know what you're asking for here.
I'm just simply saying, man, easy on the negative talk. Easy on I hope they lose or I hope he plays better. I hope this happens and this. Can we just focus on we gonna ball out. We look good. How about Steelers focus on getting a dub? That's all I'm saying, baby.
I don't think I put too much of my time or energy into it.
You put enough, though.
No.
You put enough. It's kind of like the person that's always walking around like, man, I'm out of gas. Dang, the door don't shut. Oh, man, it's too hot. Oh, man, they always something negative. And they always feel negative. It's always in a negative situation for them. Where you get the person that's pessimistic, right? Or excuse me, the person that's optimistic. It's always glass half full. You see how they walk around like, bro, I got a flat tire. All right, well, I'm going to save on gas. I ain't got to worry about pumping the tire today. I'm good. Or, dang, man. All right. Guess we can't go out to eat tonight. But we're going to have some dope family time eating at the table, man, with this sandwich you finna make. It's positivity, man. When you're making it positive, it breeds positive results, man. When you think negative, it breeds negative results, baby. That's all I'm saying. I really love the team. I really want us to win. But when you give us this negative, it hurts me because I'm like, bro, I feel like you gonna mess with what we got going on over here.
I'm throwing bad energy out there.
Yeah, I don't like the negative energy, man.
We needed a team to lose for us to make the playoffs a couple times.
And how many times did that work? And we talked about that last year. I said, bro, in Arizona, you was over here like, bro, all right, we just need this team to lose. And what do we say? I said, bro, don't do that, man. Just focus on us. And what happens? Even the teams that we needed to win or lose, like because we kept worrying about that, we dropped 3. We dropped 3 easy ones.
That's on me.
3 winnable. I'm not putting it all on you, but I'm just saying like that type of energy, man. Instead of focusing on us, we worried about them. Don't worry about them, man. You heard us say you can't keep with the Joneses, man. Don't worry about what the Joneses doing. Let's be here. Let's make sure we handling our business and everything else take care of itself, man.
I do like that mentality. I don't know how practical it is while watching games because I told you that thought creeped into my mind at the end of the game. I'm like, this is a great game, but you know what's going to help the Steelers the most? I got to look out for us.
What's going to help the Steelers the most?
It wasn't something I was focused on. I was enjoying the game. Yeah. If Cam scores that touchdown, it doesn't make or break anything. I don't care. But like at the end of the day, it could be something in week 13, 14. Steelers Patriots were battling for some seeding. Yeah. It could matter.
Or you know what else could happen, right? It could be a situation where, dang, if Russ would have lost, maybe he don't get first round. Maybe he got to go on the play. Maybe he got to go on the road, or he has a tougher matchup and they get beat. Now we don't have to see them. Russ is dangerous. I don't want to see that either. But now that I'm just saying, man, when you operate like that, it gets a little iffy.
Now it's gonna be Steelers Seahawks.
Whereas it could be, okay, Cam won. Now they feeling high. Now they go ahead and they overconfident. They get beat some. It's different. Whereas now they over here having the hard corrections. Man, we lost. All right, we got to bounce back. We got to be extra sharp. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's butterfly effect, man. You heard that before. What's the butterfly? That's the butterfly effect. Don't worry about that.
Travis Scott sings that song. That's all I know. I don't know.
Travis Scott, what? Ashton Kutcher, bro. Come on, bro. It's an actual movie, man. You know the movie.
Isn't that Johnny Depp?
No, it's not. It's Ashton Kutcher, bro.
I don't know, man.
Come on, bro. You are wildin'.
I've never seen that movie. I just know the song.
Oh my god. Yeah. Forget the song, man. The movie. No one cares about the song.
That was Sunday night. That was an incredible. It was an awesome game. Though. Awesome game.
Ton of fireworks back and forth, man. It was really good, man.
You know what other game was out there, man? That's your old squad growing up.
Oh, you talking about my West Coast? Oh, you talking about them?
The Cowboys, dude. That was absurd.
Dude, crazy. I mean, like, I was texting my cousin at the time, and we're watching, like, she's diehard, because I tell you, all my family, like, Cowboy fans. She's like, yo, everybody's at the house, man. We watching the thing. We got the full spread. Man, we getting embarrassed. Like, I can't believe this. I'm like, bro, this is nuts right now. Like, don't trip, man. We gonna find a way, man. You good. She's over there just like, yo, what? And then it goes quiet. Cowboys starting to come back. And she just sends me like 30 texts in a row. Oh, my God. This is crazy. It just happened. I'm like, yeah, this is nuts. It was crazy, bro.
I think it was that onside kick was really that good, because I think the Falcons players were like, this isn't even going to make the 10. Why even bother trying to touch it?
They just looked at it, man.
It curled in, dude. I could not believe it.
That's nuts. But I will say this, man. If you are the Falcons, like, you have to know that in the ball is rolling like that, those defenders, they can't touch the ball. So you're going to get free access, first dibs, and you have good hands. If you're on the hands team, they're saying you're the best 11 guys when it comes to handling the ball. That's what they're saying right there. Why not just grab it?
Dude, if you look at it, it really doesn't look like it's going to do it.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. Why leave it up to chance? You have a chance to either, you know, this kind of like.
That was like a once in a lifetime kick.
What? No, I wouldn't say, well, the way it finished, yeah, but I think about the Saints, this would have been last year where they gave up, was it 2 onside kicks in a row? You see Alvin Kamara just standing there like this, the ball bouncing, and they were in the other, I forgot who they were playing against, but they recovered it 2 times onside like that. It's like, bro, when you're waiting, it's no different than, man, you could be aggressive and take a shot, or you could be on your heels and hoping that the person misses. Like, no, man, I'd rather you go get that thing. If you're Julio who's standing, I forgot who was standing behind, it's like, bro, why do y'all go grab that ball in the game? Why even leave it up to chance? Why even leave it up to that? That to me is the bigger issue. Great kick, cool. Don't leave it up to chance, though. If I'm sitting here in the ball, if this is 10 yards, the ball's right here at 8.5, 9, it's still spinning. Why am I about to play that game of is it going to get to 10 or not? When I know they can't touch that ball, I got free access to it. I'm going to get it. Especially if you got hands like how those guys have hands on the hands team. That's their whole purpose of being up there. Go win the game. Instead, we over here talking about you should fire Dan Quinn. Fire the special teams coach. Lord have mercy.
Why did it have to be the Falcons, man?
Falcons, they shooting bad. No, man, they shooting so bad. I feel like anytime it's a comeback after a big lead, it's either the Falcons or somebody from the Falcons, a la Shanahan last year in the Super Bowl. It's like, bro, you can't make this up. This is some bad luck, man.
I don't know if I want to feel. I do kind of feel bad.
Coincidence, man.
I do kind of feel bad. Like Falcons are one of those neutral teams. No one really hates them or anything.
You don't. Because you don't really think they're going to be that good, but you don't think they're going to be that bad either. They're just kind of like...
fans aren't annoying. Like, there's nothing.
They're respectable. They're good winners and losers. Like, they win with grace and they lose with grace. Sometimes we know we're still a nation. We can get a little obnoxious. We know Cowboys, they definitely get obnoxious.
Boston fans for sure.
Yeah, everybody got. I mean, it's a couple of us that we like. All right, we bad. Okay, cool. But Atlanta's not like that. Atlanta's chill.
I'm trying to think any other Packers. I know they're one of the bigger brands.
They're a brand, but I don't feel like they're obnoxious like that.
Is it just us three then? It's Cowboys, Steelers,
like
and Boston Patriots.
I feel like people really hate us and the Cowboys though, because I feel like ours are the worst. I feel like the Patriots is more so just the whole everything because they were winning so much. The Brady, Belichick, it was just everything kind of rolled into one. The Cowboys weren't winning like that. You know what I mean? Like, not recently, but it's just like, I can't stand them. And then you know how we are. We talking smack to everybody. We like, like we won. We hitting our chest. Renegade. We got a dope song.
I think I'd say that. Saints fans. Saints fans got to be in the mix. They got to be in the top
complain.
five.
They're more so because they complain about everything.
Yeah.
You came up here. You're, oh man, the refs, man, this and that. I feel like they do that year round. That's always like, it's always somebody else's fault instead of them just saying, well, look, we didn't play good. We didn't execute. They are the king of that. You're right.
Yeah, I'd put them in the mix. Yeah, that's top. I'd say that's top 5-ish right there.
What are your thoughts on some of these injuries, though, bro? We're seeing Saquon out with an ACL.
I don't know what to make of it. It's just wild.
Cortland Sutton's out for. I don't even remember him going down. Do you?
I remember him getting hurt, but I didn't think anything of it. Yeah.
ACL. Let's see. Who else? In San Fran, they going Nick Bosa, ACL. Garoppolo has an ankle sprain. Michael Thomas ankle sprain.
Did you say McCaffrey? He's out for like 4-6 weeks.
Yeah, what is it? With sprain?
A high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain. And then somebody else sprained their MCL. Oh my goodness, who was it? Geez, somebody just sprained their knee.
I don't know, but it's been wild.
Yeah, all of us in
Drew
week
Lock,
2.
Drew Lock in our game.
Cheers. Dude, this is nuts.
I'm happy we're not really dealing with that. I mean, we obviously a couple on the offensive line, but our stars are good. I'm grateful after last year. I'm really grateful because I mean, if I'm a Giants, I mean, even the Broncos now not having Locke, not having your quarterback,
that kills.
Jimmy G with the 49ers. I don't think he's going to be out that long. It might only be a game or two, but I'm just so grateful now. You don't understand after last year.
Puts it in perspective for you.
So much perspective. So much, dude. Really, because the worst we've ever had it was Ben was out for 3 or 4 games. Maybe we could manage and go 2-2, or if Batch came in, maybe we missed 2 games, we go 1-1, maybe we go 2-0. But man, last year it was tough. So I'm really grateful, and I feel for any team that has some of their stars go down like this.
Hard out here, man.
NFL is so much based upon hope. You start with a clean slate, and it's only week 2 right now. If one of your guys go down like that, you could lose hope,
bro. It's rough.
But the problem was last year they kept on giving us a dose of hope. Like beginning of the season, we were like 1-4, and then
so
all
you
of a sudden,
rather they just like tank it would just be like, all right,
no, last year was fun. It was fun still. It was fun.
Hell
no, I at least want to make the playoffs. Yeah, I don't care. I want to see our teams do good, but it's a roller coaster. That does make it fun though. It makes it enjoyable.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Oh, also, man. Thoughts on the Colts too, bro? They look bad. Well, they didn't look terrible in week 1, but obviously the Jags beat them.
I didn't even watch them, man. They beat the Vikings pretty good. Yeah,
28-11, man. I thought they bounced back. Phillip Rivers looked a lot better though. Looked better with his decision making. I thought week 1 he would he reverted back to being the old school. Like, I'm gonna take too many chances. I thought this game he was a lot cleaner. Ends up getting the dub, man. But the thing that threw me off with this game though, man, I was banking on Hines being the guy. Because,
what, you playing fantasy?
No, I'm just saying in general. I thought Hines was going to be their guy because he got the nod when Marlon Mack got hurt in week 1. He became the guy, lit it up for them. They ended up going with Jonathan Taylor, though. Lit it up as well, bro. I was surprised by that, man.
He seems more like the Eckler type for Rivers, where he's going to be the pass catcher, and Taylor's going to be kind of more or less the bell cow guy like Gordon. Yeah, I think because it was concerning before the season for fantasy owners. Is it going to be Mack or Taylor? What's going to happen?
Okay.
Because those are going to be the main guys. Himes could have some value just based off the pass catching and Rivers liking to dump the ball off. But yeah, it looks like Taylor's the guy up there.
Yeah, he looked good, man.
Dude, I got a quick one. I don't know if you saw this. I saw highlights and stuff. But is Minshew, could he be the guy down in Jacksonville? Like, are they actually thinking for this draft about getting a franchise guy, or you think they're going to be good with Minshew? Are they concerned about tanking at all?
Well, first off, tanking, that's only from the front office. The players are never going to be tanking.
And fans.
Well, yeah, fans, I guess, yeah. But I don't know, man. With Minshew, it's weird because some games he looks really good, like how he did against the Titans yesterday. Then sometimes it's like, all right.
Even first game, though, he went 19 for 20.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's like, okay, is he capped, though, in terms of can he give you those type of performances like how we talked about what Josh Allen did the other day, or how we've seen with Ben and all these other like elite level quarterbacks? Is he capable
just
of that?
Skill, talent,
right?
Kind of.
So I think that's going to be the deciding factor. But then also the deciding factor is going to be if they want to roll with Marrone going forward. Because if you're doing this as this is Marrone's last year, if he doesn't make the playoffs, well, that new coach might want to come here and say, look, Minshew, you cool, but I want my own guy. And that's a different conversation.
Kyler Murray, Cardinals,
right,
they had Rosen. Yeah.
Everybody does. Or even look at Sam Darnold with the Jets
way
right
better
now,
than
man.
Rosen. Way better than Rosen.
Well, I don't think that Rosen has got the same opportunity as Minshew. Those two situations I think are very different, especially me being out in AZ when it happened. I'm not even putting that on Josh because I already know they set him up for failure. That's not the case with the Jaguars though. They still, even last year, they still were viewing themselves as a team that had a chance in that division. And we said in that division, it hasn't been this whole, well, they are the juggernauts of the team. It's like, no, multiple guys have won that division in the past couple of years. So I don't think they viewed it as that. I thought when Nick Foles went down, they still had a good team around them. Whereas in Arizona, for a fact, that offense, the year that Rosen took over for Bradford, bro, it was bad. They couldn't protect them to save their life. Like, so that's why when people have this like notion about Rosen, I'm like, bro, it's not accurate. The problem is he hasn't really been in any better situation. When he was in Miami last year, you saw that situation too. We know they were bad. Bad. But it is what it is. Whereas now, he's in a better situation. Practice squad with Tampa. That could be a totally now if he got opportunity in that offense, now we could better evaluate him because that offense is actually an NFL caliber offense. Has an offense line, has a running game, has receivers. His number one receiver in Arizona that year was Fitzgerald. We know Larry ain't like that no more.
He's 37. I can't believe that.
Dude, it's nuts.
He still had 800 yards last year, which he didn't deserve to be in the NFL top 100 players. But that's still impressive. 36,
No.
racking up 800 yards.
And I will say this, man. Larry still, he works like crazy on his game, man. You go out there, you see him in practice, before practice, after practice. He's still, that's there. You know what I mean? But I just felt like as a whole, though, you also have to remember the Christian Kirk, the receiver that's doing well for them now with Kyler Murray. He was injured during that season as well. David Johnson was coming back from injury. It was just a lot of moving pieces. First year head coach, GM, there half of the year, wasn't there the other half of the year because of suspension. That's why I'm just like, man, I don't even know what Josh is right now because we haven't seen him in a good situation. You look at Sam Darnold right now in that Jet situation. It's hard to evaluate him right now, man. When you watch them play, like, dude, these first two games, you're like, man.
You think he could have a Tannehill resurgence on another team, maybe?
Absolutely. Like, different team or blow-up organization in terms of new coach, GM, however you want to change that up. That's another alternative, but the situation is bad right now.
I told you about them Jets, dude. They're going 2-14 now. I gave them too many wins last week.
Well, people said the Jaguars only going to win 2 games too. You see how that's playing out. Don't be beating your chest just yet, man.
I know.
You do that a lot though, bro. You quick, man. 1 week ago by you over here. Yeah, I told you, Duck. I told you, man. We nice. And then
it's cool. I'm cool with it because I'll own it whenever I really mess up. I'll make fun of myself. But no, Minshew though, he's kind of on the money right now. That'd be interesting.
Looking good, man.
See how it plays out. I had one more thing I wanted to say. I like
this Deke, man.
Nah, dude, I completely forgot it though. I really did. So I got nothing now.
You sure?
Yeah, I forgot it. So I really don't have anything. As soon as we turn off the mics, I'll remember it.
Of course.
Yeah, that's all I got, I think, for the NFL recap here.
I like it. Well, once again, shout out to Kevin Harvick getting another dub. Shout out to LeBron and AD. AD called game. Love it.
I'm not watching. I told you I'm watching the NFL games, dude. I haven't even been paying attention.
Well, it was in between games, though. You had time.
Just the beginning of it. But then the Sunday night game came on.
It was enough of it, though. And Sunday Night Football is plenty of commercials, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. There's plenty of commercials.
I'm just saying, I'm exposing myself. I'm a poser, dude. I was so high on NBA whenever it was back, but now you give me some NFL. It's
I'm watching every game. You even said said the Clippers were going to win it all.
I was on the money, man.
Choke and all this other stuff. And my. Interesting times we're living in right now.
That really is. I'm trying to think if I can remember what
I'm over here trying to stall for you too. Like, come on, man. What is it? What could it be?
I got nothing.
It was football related, right?
It had to have been.
Was it Josh Allen related?
No.
Was it Stephon Diggs related?
Nope.
John Brown?
No.
Jerry Hughes? Ed Oliver?
No,
None of those. Tre'Davious White.
it had nothing to do with
Jordan
the Bills.
Poyer?
It might have had something to do with Minshew.
Okay. What about Fournette though? Fournette look good.
That's a good one because, that's another thing when we were talking about Herbert and Taylor.
Yeah.
Arians can't come out and say anything about this running back controversy. I'm still evaluating running backs. It's Fournette. We said this at the beginning of the year.
It's not even close, bro. It's not even close. He's different.
It's not even close. I guess I could say this wasn't on my mind though, but these are things that have been on my mind.
Man. I thought we found it, man.
No, but it's cool. But I mean, Brady looked good. Brady looked back.
Good bounce back. I mean, because we talk about never overreact, right? Week 1, people were on this father time. I tried telling people. Done. Is that. Week 2, it looked a lot better.
Can I say another thing? People that said Brady's done, go home. I tried telling you. I tried warning you.
It's 2 games, man. Relax.
I'm just bumping up my hot takes, man, just to try to make up for any of my cold takes here.
Golly.
No, but I've been saying that for a while.
Set yourself up for more failure, man. You just gotta just ride that wave, man. Just enjoy it, but don't boast and brag about it. Just take it for what it is. You good, man.
Don't count Brady out. Don't count Brady out.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
True.
His offense needs so much help. I'm sorry. I can't believe they drafted a quarterback instead of bringing him some weapons. He doesn't have any weapons on that offense.
I still stand by that.
Whew, yeah. Okay, 2 weeks, 40 plus
points,
whatever you say, baby.
Justin Jefferson out there. Mm-hmm. They could have had Claypool, but hey, we got him.
Sounds good. I don't think he's hurting at all. And in fact, the teams that do have all these weapons that we're listing, they ain't put that up 2 weeks back to back. I ain't dropping names. You dropping names. I ain't dropping no names.
We do. I see. We do what we have to do here.
You making it about us. I said I'm not dropping names. You felt guilty. They say a hurt dog or holler. That's what they say. Huh? A hurt dog or holler. You was hollering over here. Man, we good. We do what we got to do over here. Nobody was talking about the Steelers here, baby. Jeez. All right. You all right, baby?
Hey, we're 2-0.
That's all that matters, man.
Ben's back. And
he looks good. He looks good, man. That's all that matters, man. Ben's back. Team's looking good. 2-0. I'm excited. It was good. It was good too, man, to get that dub in Pittsburgh too, man. I needed that. Home opener.
Hopefully fans soon.
Hopefully. We'll see.
I think so.
We'll see. I'm not crossing my fingers on that, but we'll see.
Why not? I'm seeing other places.
Are we other places?
Zero negative tests back-to-back weeks.
Are we other places? And where'd you get these results from?
At the bottom of the ESPN ticker.
Yeah, all right.
That's what I'm seeing.
Anywho.
NFL's rolling, baby.
Anywho.
What? You got some inside scoop?
Nothing. I'm cool, man.
We're rolling, dude. I know. Hopefully we get fans soon. That's what I'm thinking.
Cool.
We got anything else?
I'm good. You can't remember still?
Nope. I'm good. I really can't.
I guess we got it then, man.
Maybe it was Brady. I don't know.
Probably was. Or Josh Allen.
It wasn't
You
Allen.
Sure? Oh, you were saying Sean McDermott has done such a great job in Buffalo. Was that it? What was it?
No.
You sure?
No.
All right, I was just checking.
He's doing fine. They're doing fine. They're 2-0.
Oh, thank you for talking. I know what I wanted to ask you now.
What?
We said last week we were doing a week by week MVP tracker. Okay.
I didn't agree to that. I agreed to doing a kicking report.
So in fact, let me pull up my thing here. All right, because for this is probably simpler just to pull up stats because it's hard to really go through and remember who did what and who was here and all that other stuff. All right, so I'm sure you remember Ben's numbers off the top of your head.
Hit 311, 2 touchdowns.
311, 2 touchdowns. All right. Drew Brees plays tomorrow.
75% completion.
Okay. So are we pulling up? We should just pull up MVP candidates. It's hard to say because I feel like, technically on paper, Josh is in that category. We ain't doing that right now. We're sticking with the big dogs. All right. So Russell Wilson. Let's see what he did.
He played good last night.
Well, just read the stats. 21 to 28. So 7 incompletions, 288 yards passing, average of 10.3 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay, QBR of 87.6 and then a QB rating of 132.1. Okay. Is Cam considered an MVP candidate? Because he did win before, right?
You could throw whoever you want in the mix.
So is he in there?
You could throw whoever you want, dude.
Right.
It doesn't matter. My rankings are unwavered. My rankings are unwavered. You know what it is?
What is it, man?
We could treat ourselves like I'm the AP pool, you're the BCS pool, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
So I have my preseason rankings coming into this. There's been nothing to deter what the rankings are right now.
What?
Yep.
You just got up here and said
so why would I
we struggled at times on offense. We had some throws that were bad on offense.
No, I never said that.
So the interception wasn't a bad throw?
The 2 picks, but other than that, he had a really good
those
game.
weren't bad. The pick wasn't bad?
Wilson had some bad throws. Everyone has a bad throw here and there, but there was only 3 bad throws. He threw it over 40 times, so I mean, there were some drops by us. There could have been some more yards.
Are you about to poo-poo our receivers so that way you could big up Ben? Is that what you about to do? It sounds like that's what you're doing.
No, not at all.
It sounds like you said we got some drops by our receivers. Like, which
yeah,
one
but
is
if
it, man?
we're talking about Ben, yeah, I gotta. There were some drops,
bro. What?
There were some drops.
Wow.
There were some drops.
So there could be some drops, but there can't be no bad throws by Ben.
Huh? I said there were 3.
So that's all you had was just 3 bad throws.
Yeah, there weren't that many. I mean, there were some batted balls. I don't know if you want to blame the line for that or whatnot, but
man, I'm just going off of what you telling me.
I thought he had a really solid game. So there's no reason to be dropping my rankings because we have a long season. So like it's
so we can't. So it's not gonna be week to week.
Huh? My rankings are unwavered. So, dude, think of it. You have Alabama in the preseason,
but this isn't preseason. This is regular season.
No. Hear me out.
Okay.
A pool has Alabama at number 1.
Okay.
They have Clemson at 2, maybe Ohio State at 3.
Okay, I'm listening.
What other team could be in the top 4?
Whoever you want to name.
We'll throw LSU at 4.
All right, I'm following you. Let's go.
Alabama's won preseason. Maybe they don't have as gaudy stats or whatever it is in their first 2 weeks.
Then the AP will drop them.
No.
Yes, they will.
They're staying steady.
No,
they're 2-0. There's no reason to be dropping them.
No, they won't. They will definitely drop them. What? Yes, they will. Especially if that 2 or that 3 seed beats a quality opponent and balls out, they will absolutely. We've seen this numerous times with the AP.
Way.
Yes, they do.
I see it as the opposite.
No, the AP.
If Alabama,
move, bro.
No. If Alabama looks good, they play solidly. There's no reason to drop them. So I'm keeping my rankings how they are. I'm unwavered.
I'll just enjoy you.
I got Ben.
I just enjoy you. It's all good.
Ben 5 touchdowns, over 500 yards on the year. I think it's like 540.
So we're going to 2 game. We're adding both games now. I didn't think you wanted to do that.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, Russell's got it. He's got a few better stats, but hey,
a few.
It's fine. There's no reason to be dropping Ben in my rankings right now because he's been playing great. So I'm sticking to it. There's no reason to change my rankings. They're unwavered right now.
All right.
Ben is top dog in my MVP
So when can we
rankings.
get an updated version of these rankings? That's all I want to know.
We could do it week by week.
I'm just over here dumbfounded right now. Like, what?
What do you mean?
Your way of bigging up Ben is saying what he's done in the first 2 games, but then when we talk about what some of these other guys done in the first 2 games, it's some separation. That's all I'm saying, man.
I'm unwavered in my rankings. That was
Russell Wilson's first 2 games
look good. He's fine.
Look good. It looks awesome.
He's good, man. I got nothing
first
against
2
Russ.
games look awesome. Josh Allen, the first 2 games look awesome.
There's been a lot of great quarterback play, and I'm good with that. But I gotta stick with my guy here.
All right, I'm with you, man.
I am, dude.
All right,
unwavered. I got him as my preseason, and there's been nothing. Like I said, in these first 2 weeks.
I like how that's the only thing you're unwavered on. Everything else you flip flop on.
What do you mean?
Just in general. 1 minute you're high on this team, next minute you're low on that team. 1 minute you're high on this player, next minute you're low on that player. But with Ben, I'm wavering. I'm sticking with it. This is my guy. I believe it.
I've stuck with Brady.
You flip flop on everything else, bro.
You think?
It's all good, man.
You think?
It's all good.
Oh, actually, this has nothing to do with what I wanted to bring up, but this was something I wanted to bring up when we were talking about Steelers. Talk about wavering and going back and forth and knee jerk.
Yeah.
Starting running back. Because last week, everyone's saying Snow. Now it's Connor. There's no doubt.
This is the thing. Connor played well, yes. Did Connor play to the point where he just eased all of our minds? No, but the problem is Benny Snell fumbled the ball.
It's a fumble, dude. If he didn't fumble it, I think there'd be legit discussions today like, yo, we should be getting Snell the ball more.
Absolutely.
Give him a chance.
We know, okay, they'll say for the stat people, oh, James had over 100 yards rushing. We saw 59 yards come on the last touch, and he should have scored. He was running to get tackled. As soon as he broke out, he was running to get tackled. Let's
think he did that on purpose? I don't know why he would do it on purpose.
So you answered your question then.
But there's a whole thing. You saw it with Chris Carson in the Sunday night game.
And we talked about that too. What was the purpose of that?
There was...
It was zero purpose.
I saw what he was trying to do, get the first down.
It was zero purpose.
Like in our game, I can't... All right, we scored that where all of a sudden we're up 2 touchdowns or 2 possessions now. I don't know how much time was it. It was within 2 minutes. It was like 1:30 maybe.
It was enough time. Clearly, it was an interesting finish for us, was it not?
Huh?
I say it still would have been an interesting finish. That's all I'm saying, bro.
You're saying it was a good idea for him not to score?
No, I'm saying he should have scored if he could have. I don't think he could have. it just didn't look like he had that gear that he needed. It looked like as soon as he got through the initial wave, he kept looking right, left. If he was trying to go down to save clock, he just went down. I mean, we've seen that before too. It's numerous times we've seen guys, that's a heads up play. Instead of going for the extra yards, he just dropped to save the time. Or is
that what people are saying right now? Because I know you did radio today. Or is that what people are saying? Because it looked like a combo. It looked like a combo.
It looked like, oh, yeah. He wasn't trying to score. Yeah, that's what it was. And another half is like, boy, who was on his back? Like, what was going on here? Because as soon as he hit, he was, who's catching me? Somebody's about to catch me. Am I holding on to the ball? Who's catching me? Like, and for me, just watching him, and this is the thing, he just doesn't look the same in terms of like the explosiveness right now. Like,
even when he was gaining 5 or 6 yards at a time,
he had the pop, right? And he looked as if he was running to either not get hurt or he was running to not fumble. It was more so playing to not mess up instead of playing to ball out. I feel like that's the biggest difference right now when I'm watching James this year compared to how it was last year or even the year before that. Last year and the year before that, man, he was balling carefree. Like, I'm just being my best self. Whereas now it's like he's trying not to mess up. I'm trying not to get hurt. I'm trying not to fumble. I'm trying not to do this. And it shows. Whereas with Benny has fumbled. Now, granted, I think the past 4 games or 5 games he's had a fumble issue.
You notice he was the one that punched it all the way out there. Because, like, he hit it loose a little bit. And then he goes to try to, like, put his arm over it.
And he punches it out.
Yeah.
The thing is with Benny, it's like Benny is running harder and running more carefree, but the problem is he's not detailing the work in terms of ball security. We're seeing the similar things with some of the receivers in terms of routine passes that if they look it in, they're catching it. They're just not doing the fundamental things right, the routine stuff right. But with Benny, that's his issue. It's more so, man, protect the ball. With James, though, it's like I'm starting to question, is it more personnel right now? Because through 2 games, even when he was healthy in game 1, it still hasn't looked the same just yet. So that's why, like, knee-jerk reaction, I'm still not even convinced that, is James and it's clear-cut James. I still feel like, man, he still needs to get back to looking like James. He doesn't look like himself right now.
Yeah, you don't really know what that's going to take. You don't know if it's a mental thing or whatnot.
Exactly, man.
Now, here's the thing. The interesting thing was Tomlin split carries this week, and it just wasn't that because it's what we've seen in the past with Tomlin where if he has a guy out there, he's just probably going to be rolling with you the whole time. So I'll be interested. I don't know. Like, it's the thing. Like, you want to see Snell get more, but then it's like, I don't want to see a fumble either. Yeah. Because if we have Connor out there, or just even the running game in general, this is what I was saying whenever we were talking about the Steelers recap, I could see us really becoming this short passing, quick team where if we have 40, 50 yards on the ground, maybe that's what we're trying to do.
Well, and I was going to ask you, too, which one are you more concerned with? Benny Snell's ball security issues or Deontay Johnson's ball security issues? Because they both, honestly, got bad stuff on tape in their first 2 years, and it's not just a one-off.
Honestly, it's Benny Snell just because I feel like Deontay has more opportunity to make up for it. I think that's it, and it's I don't know. So what's this? Deontay fumbled on the punt return last week.
He had the fumble on the sweep today. A couple of drops both weeks.
I know. Yeah. That's actually tough. That's a good question.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't know the answer. I mean, because with Benny, he's gotten less opportunities, but he's still putting the ball on the ground, and that to me is a concern. But
I think with Deontay's, he recovered it. He messed up the punt one. Maybe for some reason I'm separating special teams from his receiver role.
I'm like, it's all.
I know. I get it. But I don't know. That's a good question. Actually.
To me, but I feel like they both have different issues in terms of how it's happening. With Benny, it's more so he's in a crowd trying to get extra yardage, and instead of saying those 3 to 5 yards aren't worth me 2 hands on the ball protecting it. Once he understands that, I think he'll be a lot better. With Deontay, it's more so the fundamentals of when the ball initially comes to him on the punt. We talked about staying square on it, making sure that the football is in your framework between your shoulders, making sure your elbows are tight together, stuff like that. Then when he's looking in routine passes, you can see the ball sitting in his hand and his eyes are already upfield. He's ready to make a guy miss. Look it in, see it home first, then go make that guy miss. But if you don't catch the ball first, it doesn't matter what move you got planned. So both guys are having issues with ball security, but 2 different situations in terms of how or why. One is post, you know what I mean? You already got the ball in your hand, fighting for extra, protect it. It's not worth it. The other is, bro, before you hit this move on this guy coming up, just catch the ball first. You look it in first. You do that part first. The rest is gonna be fine because you got the juice. We know that. And I think that's the difference with both of them. Both of them definitely I'm concerned about, though, because it has shown that it's not just 1 or 2 games. It's showing that it wasn't just a 1-year thing. It wasn't a rookie year thing. This is something that has lingered over into year 2. So I definitely am starting to get a little bit uneasy about it, but it still is fixable because it's technique based, not personnel based.
What's weird is I think this one with Benny Snell was more egregious because we didn't get to see him play the whole game. Where I don't know how many carries he had. Was it like 4 or 5? But either way, you have 4 or 5 carries and one of them's a fumble. That's going to stick out way more than what he did last week, where he had an awesome game. He was a top 3 rusher in the NFL after it was all said and done. He had that one fumble. We obviously picked it up, but this one, it just feels that much more egregious, especially with the timing of it. It's like, we were up 12. That was the last thing we needed.
Yeah, Benny had 3 carries, 5 yards, obviously the fumble, but he never really got started like that.
Yeah, it's different if he was getting 20 carries yesterday and he somehow ends up with 120 yards and that was one of the fumbles. Like,
it'll be like a Tiki Barber type vibe. Like, oh yeah, he still was good, but he fumbled, but it's good though.
Yeah, because that's how I feel about Deontay. Like, he had an awesome game yesterday despite the fumble with the jet sweep. We obviously seen some of those punt returns.
Yeah.
The touchdown.
Yeah.
So
but then it's funny.
Forget about that jet sweep fumble.
We forget about the jet sweep fumble, but then we won't even mention how many times are we seeing the ball hit him in the hands.
Dude, the third down was big in the fourth quarter. Absolutely. It was 3rd and 7, 6 minutes left. We're trying to keep the drive
going. Like, to me,
going.
I put all of that in there together. Like, it's not just it was just the jet sweep or everything else was good. It's like, no, it's showing up multiple areas, man. And that's the thing that to me is a little frustrating because we know how good he is. We know how good he can be, but he has to clean that up, man.
Yeah, I'm expecting it. I'm hoping so, at least. Because he did last year. Like, we saw a little bit of it when he was getting more and more playing time at the beginning. But I feel like as the season went, I don't remember anything that was glaring that he did, like, the last 5 or 6 games. I know you're shaking your head. You must have seen something, but I don't remember.
It's when I tell you, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember it. But we're not in the business of bringing up a whole bunch of the negative for the guys, man. We talk about them, but yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think I got everything covered.
Did you ever remember what you was trying to remember? No. All right, then. So it's all good.
It might have been something really stupid because I was gonna say, like, dude, Minshew just matches like the Jacksonville vibe like perfectly.
He does.
But I don't think that was it because I thought I was just gonna say that and then we move on. Okay. I thought there was something more in depth that I was gonna bring up, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Because that was the one thing that I kept saying. Like, you did want to say that, but I thought there was more. That was it.
It's all good then, bro. Hey, look, I appreciate you, man. I ain't tripping. And shout out to everybody, man, that's been following this ride, man, tuning into the podcast, whether it's through the audio version or through YouTube, man. We definitely appreciate y'all for that. Keep showing us love. We're going to keep the content coming, baby. This is what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
And until next time.
Peace.